people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman, I love what she's doing, she's fighting for us. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media. Conservative New Media peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, and this is for Conservative New Media, and it's for the John D. Villarreal syndicated radio show. We are joined by welterweight fighter in Strikeforce, KJ Noons, and KJ is going for the World Championship in the welterweight championship in Strikeforce in San Jose on October 9th. You need to check it out. KJ, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Now, there's a lot that our fans want to talk about and a lot that people want to know. Let's first of all rewind to this first fight. Now, you know, our flagship station is out of that Stockton, Modesto area, so these are big Nick Diaz fans. There's a lot of Nick Diaz's fans out there that are really upset that that fight was stopped. You were in that fight, obviously. What was your sense of it and how it was going?
I think, you know, I felt like I dominated the fight and I won. And for some of the hardcore fans out there or people that don't believe that, that's all we're doing it a second time.
I love it. Let's do it. KJ Noons versus Diaz 2. It's going off. And KJ wants to shut the haters up. He wants to show people that he's the real deal. Now, in that first fight, what did you notice that you were able to do on Nick Diaz? From what I could see, and I mean this is just a spectator, right? You know, he had more reach on you. He was kind of controlling the range. He was doing his little pity pat stuff. But you mean, as you're known for, you were just hitting him with shots that were just so hard and were busting him up. And he tried to take you down. You showed a lot of great takedown defense and also some submission defense and getting out of some stuff. Is that what you experienced there?
Yeah, you know, like I said, he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's beat a lot of great guys, and he's definitely a tough fighter. You know, but I think my style matched up well. I trained really hard for that fight, and I think this is probably the best fight camp I've had. You know, up to a fight. So yeah, I'm really excited. You know, I think he got better as a fighter, and so have I. And like I just said, this is the best camp I've had.
Let's get into.
I'm definitely ready. I had a lot better camp this time around than I did for that first fight.
Wow, that's it. Now let's get into that. Now, aren't you both like undefeated since that fight or something?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's what's kind of interesting. You know, I think people, like I told somebody on another interview, I said, you know, all the build up to the fight, you know, there was like a brawl after a fight,
right?
And this and that, if you want to call it controversial, and I think that's just bonus to what, you know, both of us have gone undefeated. He's gotten better, I've gotten better, and I think I like to consider myself an exciting fighter. I think he's an exciting fighter. I think that makes for a good fight.
You're both exciting fighters, and I know I agree with you. There's all these intangibles that make this the fight to see, this the pay-per-view to get. People want to get involved in this fight. They want to see it in San Jose, whether it's live or on pay-per-view. And we're going to put the links down for that. Now, here's the thing. You said you had a great camp. How long was your camp? And are you one of these guys like a Ricky Hatton that kind of does his own thing and then gets in shape? Or are you in shape year-round? What is that like?
Man, I haven't stopped camp since like last December. I've been fighting. This is my fourth fight in like 6.5 months, man. I haven't stopped training since I fought in March. And since then, I haven't stopped training. So I'm just mainly just trying to maintain my body, keep it in one piece, and this is actually the healthiest I've been. I broke a few bones this year, and I feel good, and I've changed up management. I've changed up my team. I like the people that surround me. I like to go to different gyms and just get the type of sparring partners, the person I'm going to face, and I've had a really good time. I've trained down in San Diego, I've trained in Houston, I've trained in a couple times in Tijuana. Just kind of mix it up everywhere. I
think that's great. I mean, when, you know, as I said, you know, before the interview, I was a 4-time national champion in powerlifting, and I never had an off season. I think it just made me better and better and better. I mean, if you have an injury, you need to rehab that, but I think that's extremely smart. Now, let's talk about that. There are some people that say that, hey, you're only a striker, or there's a lot of people that talk about the best styles in MMA. Do you believe there is one best style that you need to have? Is it, do you need to have the boxing first, or do you need to have the wrestling first, or do you just rely on your strengths, or are you trying to round out? What's your approach to training, and what's your feeling on the different sort of levels of styles that you need to have to make a great MMA fighter?
I think everybody comes from kind of a different background. So, you know, myself, it just so happens to be boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and for people that like to watch striking, I think that's exciting for them, you know. But, you know, you got guys that have great jiu-jitsu or wrestling, whatever, and you have fans that want to watch them. So I guess it really depends on the person, you know. But I know what type of fighter I like to watch. I like to watch a guy that gets in there and kind of mixes it up, you know, and more of a striker. And that's kind of what I like to be more, you know, whenever, or that's what I like to portray whenever I fight. But, you know, just because I don't show takedowns or show my jiu-jitsu or maybe another aspect of my game doesn't mean I'm not good at it. I just prefer to do something else, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think that you know, for some people that's exciting, you know, exciting for them.
I think it is exciting. Now, I don't know how much you want to talk about this, and again, I ask all kinds of different questions, so if it's something you want to talk about, we can go on to the next. But, I mean, there's some people that say that there's rumors, and whether there's some people that say that the promotions encourage fighters, whether through money or other means, to do the stand-up fights and not take it to the ground. Is there any truth to that?
What was the last part? I didn't hear the last part. Just broke up a little bit.
The last part is...
I heard how promotions, you know, will entice fighters, and then what was the question?
In other words, a lot of people, like, there are some rumors that some promotions encourage the fighters to stand up and bang, even if they want to take it to the ground. Is that true?
You broke the last part. I mean, some promotions might entice fighters, but I've never had that problem.
Okay, that's good. That's good to clear up, because a lot of the blogs will talk about different things like that. Now, that being said, I do agree with you that the fans do like to see the striking, and obviously you being such a dominant striker, that plays well into your game plan and also to the larger marketability. And let's talk about the larger marketability before we get back to the Diaz fight, because people are really focused on that. You've talked about maybe taking on people like Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather in boxing. Are you serious about that?
Back up. I didn't. Other people were talking about that. I'm just putting the ball in play.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what. I mean, I've only boxed amateurs, but if they want to pay me $5 million to go get knocked out by Manny Pacquiao, sign me up, brother.
You know, I just have some close friends that are friends with both camps, and you know, they're interested. You know, Mayweather wants to fight a MMA champ in boxing, you know, so I've had that background. I've had a, you know, world title. And Manny, you know, used to do kickboxing. He wants to do MMA, supposedly. You know, some of my friends have said that are friends with him. So we'll see. It's just like, just more of the talks, you know what I mean? It's nothing solid, but, you know, it's all fun, you know, just like the James Toney and the Randy Couture thing.
I think it's beautiful.
I have to chime in. I think I'd be a little bit more successful than James Toney. I have to go over in the boxing.
I agree with you. I think it would be beautiful. I mean, if I were in your position, I would love to do it. You're talking about massive crossover promotion. You're talking about massive money. I mean, I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. And let me ask you, I mean, straight up, I mean, you're talking about two of the best fighters ever. What do you think your chances would be realistically if you were to get in there with them, and what weight would you want to do it at?
You know, I've made 147, or I think at one time I made 151, 152 without even cutting weight, and now I'm fighting at 170. So, I mean, I'm down for whatever fans want to see, you know. Like I said, I'm making this fight happen at 170 in his hometown.
That is, I know.
I don't care. You know, I'm just a fighter. I want to fight and just put on good shows for people and the fans, you know, what they want to see. I'm down for it.
That's what's so crazy. That's what people love KJ News. And I mean, I remember I saw one of your first fights. I'm like, this guy, you know, he's in shape, whatever like that, but he doesn't look like one of these, like, you know, gym monsters and shit, like a Sean Shirk or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, you know, they say he's a puncher, and man, you were just blowing people up. And I remember watching that last Gershel fight, and it's like, Gershel, he's trying to stand with you, and he's sitting there smiling as you're blowing him up. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And you just destroyed him.
Thanks, man. But hey, it all comes with a lot of hard work, a lot of hours in the gym. I think a lot of people, you know, they think you just jump over there and fight, man. You're definitely the only person there, but there's a lot of people that make it happen to help me up to the fight in a lot of weeks and a lot of sacrifice.
Well, let's talk about that, because, I mean, me being the lifting champion, I love to talk about the lifting. What kind of training do you do? And if I can ask, I mean, you know, how much do you bench press and squat, and what kind of weights you throw around, man? People want to know about that.
You know, to tell you the truth, I used to be strong when I played high school football. Weights, man, they used to drill us in
Oh yeah, I'm from San Antonio.
Now I just maintain, you know, the weights and maintain a good diet, and you know, I got the nutritionist, the conditioning, the weight conditioning, the boxing, the kickboxing, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu. I mean, that's why I kind of like to travel to different gyms and just try to get a different look of everything and try to take the best I can, you know, of something that's teaching me something, and hopefully I can give something back, you know?
So I think that's fantastic. So when you're training, do you do like maybe 70%, 80%? Do you do speed weight work, explosive training? I mean, is there a certain approach? I mean, what does that look like?
You know, I just kind of mix it up. You know what I mean? I'm always changing it up and doing different things. You know, like when I'm lighter, I do maybe less weights. You know, 15 to 20 reps to not be so bulky. Now I had to put on weight for this fight, so you know, I go a little bit heavier and I get to eat more, and I change my sparring partners up, and pretty much, I mean, the most important thing for me is sparring. That's why I'll go to gym. I don't like to spar the same people over and over. I like to get in there with people that are pushing me, or if not, people that can beat me up, so I can get better. If I'm not getting beat up, if I'm not getting tested, then I'm not getting better. So
I totally agree. I think that's brilliant. I completely agree with that. You have to be around the best or people that are better than you, or you're not going to improve.